Feeling stressed, overwhelmed? Yeah, us too. That's why we love Cope Notes. Tiny, helpful mental health reminders sent straight to your phone to keep you grounded. And here's the best part. Use code UNCOVERED at checkout for 10% off any subscription. It's like having a little life coach in your pocket without the expensive hourly rate. Seriously, try it. You'll thank us later. Once again, that's Uncovered at checkout for 10% off any Cope Note subscription. Okay, listeners, mark your calendars. November 16th, 2025, season 2 of Landman drops on Paramount Plus. Tommy Norris, played by Billy Bob Thornton, is stepping up as CEO. The oil industry's drama heats up, and cartel boss Galino is moving in for chaos. Plus, Sam Elliott, yes, you heard that right. The infamous Sam Elliott joins the cast, bringing that legendary intensity. Family feuds, corporate power struggles, and a whole lot of tension. If you loved season 1, you definitely do not want to miss this. Seriously, set a reminder now. November 16th, 2025, season 2, Landman, a Taylor Sheridan and Paramount Plus exclusive. Hey, true crime fans, if you're not already listening to Crime Junkie, you're seriously missing out. Ashley Flowers and her co host Britt deep dive into cases with incredible detail, killer storytelling, and just the right amount of suspense to keep you hooked. Their latest, part one of the Jodine Sarin murder. It's chilling, it's intense, and it's exactly the kind of deep dive you will binge in one sitting. Check it out. Once again, the name is Crime Junkie with Ashley Flowers and Britt. You're welcome.
This episode of Stories from the Vault is brought to you by Petty Merch. Get 15% off your first order with code VAULT at pettymerch.xyz.
Wilshire Unit, City, Wilshire Unit 211, GTA just occurred, 3921 Wilshire Boulevard, 3921 Wilshire Boulevard, incident 329, any Wilshire Unit, code 2 high.
Now let's travel back to the 1980s, to a time when paranoia ran high during the Cold War. The United States government went to extraordinary lengths to spy on the Soviet Union. So extraordinary, in fact, that it dug a secret tunnel beneath the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C. This is the story of Operation Monopoly, a covert FBI operation that remained classified for decades. The year was 1984. Ronald Reagan was in the White House, and tensions with the Soviet Union were escalating. The arms race was in full swing, and intelligence agencies were on high alert for any signs of espionage. The FBI and other federal agencies were acutely aware that the Soviet embassy in D.C. was a hub of clandestine activity. Vault documents reveal that American intelligence suspected the Soviets were intercepting communications and gathering classified information from the U.S. government. Traditional surveillance techniques like listening devices, observation, and informants were not enough. The Bureau needed unprecedented access. It was then that Operation Monopoly was conceived. The plan: dig a tunnel beneath the Soviet embassy to plant surveillance equipment and monitor communications directly. The operation would involve engineers, specialized construction teams, and top-level FBI oversight. Every move had to be secret. Discovery would trigger an international incident. The FBI's vault files describe the logistics in meticulous details. Teams conducted soil analysis, assessed the embassy's foundation, and studied city blueprints to determine the safest approach. They even coordinated with local contractors without revealing the true purpose of the work. Security was paramount. Only a select few knew the tunnel's true goal. Engineers worked at night using techniques to muffle the sound of drilling and conceal vibrations. The tunnel had to reach beneath the embassy's basement, yet remain undetectable to guards, surveillance devices, and neighboring buildings. Vault memos indicate that the operation was continually delayed by logistical challenges, structural complications, and fear of leaks. Yet the FBI pressed on, driven by Cold War urgency. The slightest intelligence advantage could be the difference between national security and disaster. Construction on the tunnel began in secret, under the cover of darkness and misleading permits. Engineers worked tirelessly, aware that a single mistake could expose the entire operation. The air was thick with tension. Every drill, every vibration, every sound could be a giveaway. Vault documents describe how the FBI used sophisticated noise dampening techniques to mask the drilling. Workers wore headphones with white noise generators, and vibrations were absorbed with specially designed padding. Even the trucks bringing in the equipment followed indirect routes to avoid drawing attention. Progress was painstakingly slow. The tunnel had to follow a precise path beneath the embassy's basement while avoiding utility lines, underground pipes, and existing structural supports. If discovered, the political fallout could have been catastrophic. The stakes were amplified by international pressures. Senior officials monitored daily reports tracking progress and potential security breaches. According to Vault files, there were moments when embassy guards patrolled above the construction site, forcing teams to halt work or risk detection. Despite the challenges, the tunnel advanced steadily. Surveillance equipment, including microphones and wiring, was carefully staged for installation. The operation required patience, precision, and unrelenting focus on secrecy. Documents from the vault indicate that at times agents were worried about moral and legal boundaries. They were performing a covert operation on foreign soil, an act that, if exposed, could escalate tensions between two nuclear powers. Yet the Cold War mindset prevailed. The potential intelligence gain outweighed the risk. By the time the tunnel had reached beneath the embassy's basement, every inch had been calculated, every variable accounted for. The stage was set to gather critical intelligence without being detected, a feat of espionage that would remain classified for decades. Operation Monopoly remained secret for years, but eventually parts of the story began to surface. Vault documents revealed that while the tunnel successfully reached beneath the Soviet embassy, maintaining long-term surveillance proved challenging. Equipment had to be carefully monitored, and any technical failure risked exposing the operation. Internal memos highlight a constant tension between operational success and political risk. Agents worried that if the Soviets discovered the tunnel, it could spark a diplomatic crisis. There were also concerns about leaks within the U.S. government. Too many people knew the operation's details, and secrecy was fragile. Over time, as the Cold War de-escalated and archival rules changed, portions of the operation were declassified. Researchers accessing the vault found detailed reports, blueprints, and memos describing the tunnel, the construction methods, and the sophisticated surveillance equipment installed. The files provide an unprecedented glimpse into the daring espionage effort that few knew existed. The fallout of Operation Monopoly wasn't public at the time, but its existence illustrates the extreme lengths the U.S. government is willing to go to monitor its adversaries. The operation remains a striking example of Cold War paranoia, ingenuity, and risk. A reminder that espionage often operates in shadows, where the stakes are nothing less than national security. Ultimately, the operation raised questions about ethics, legality, and oversight. How far should a government go in spying on foreign powers, even allies? And what are the consequences when covert operations are hidden from public scrutiny? Operation Monopoly left an indelible mark on intelligence history, revealing both that ambition and the peril inherent in secret operations. Operation Monopoly remains one of the most audacious examples of Cold War espionage. The tunnels beneath the Soviet embassy, the meticulous planning, and the high-stakes secrecy all reveal the lengths the FBI and the U.S. government would go to protect national security. Vault documents now allow us to see the operation in full detail, from blueprints and construction reports to internal memos assessing risk and progress. They even show a story of ingenuity, patience, and extreme caution, but also of morale ambiguity and the delicate balance between security and legality. Operation Monopoly reminds us that intelligence work is rarely clean or simple. Success is measured not just by the information gathered, but by what remains hidden, undiscovered, or classified for decades. The operation's existence challenges us to consider the unseen actions that shape history and the people who risk everything in the shadows to make it happen. For those who want to explore the documents themselves, the full vault files for Operation Monopoly are available online at vault.fbi.gov/Operation Monopoly. You can trace every step of the tunnel, every memo, and every assessment the Bureau made during this covert mission. Until next time, lock the file, and remember, the truth is rarely redacted forever. Next time on Stories from the Vault, we'll dive into the FBI files on Donald Trump, his connections, investigations, and controversies. From Epstein's networks to events of January 6th, we'll uncover what the Vault has to say about one of the most scrutinized figures in modern American history. I'm Kyle Fields, and thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Stories from the Vault. I'll see you next time.
Feeling stressed, overwhelmed? Yeah, us too. That's why we love Cope Notes. Tiny, helpful mental health reminders sent straight to your phone to keep you grounded. And here's the best part. Use code UNCOVERED at checkout for 10% off any subscription. It's like having a little life coach in your pocket without the expensive hourly rate. Seriously, try it. You'll thank us later. Once again, that's UNCOVERED at checkout for 10% off any Cope Note subscription. Okay, listeners, mark your calendars. November 16th, 2025, Season 2 of Landman drops on Paramount+. Tommy Norris, played by Billy Bob Thornton, is stepping up as CEO. The oil industry's drama heats up, and cartel boss Galino is moving in for chaos. Plus, Sam Elliott, yes, you heard that right, the infamous Sam Elliott joins the cast, bringing that legendary intensity. Family feuds, corporate power struggles, and a whole lot of tension. If you loved season 1, you definitely do not want to miss this. Seriously, set a reminder now. November 16th, 2025, season 2, Landman, a Taylor Sheridan and Paramount Plus exclusive. Hey, true crime fans, if you're not already listening to Crime Junkie, you're seriously missing out. Ashley Flowers and her co-host Britt deep dive into cases with incredible detail, killer storytelling, and just the right amount of suspense to keep you hooked. Their latest, part 1 of the Jodine Sarin murder. It's chilling, it's intense, and it's exactly the kind of deep dive you will binge in one sitting. Check it out. Once again, the name is Crime Junkie with Ashley Flowers and Britt. You're welcome.